Family and even strangers gathering near Sandy Hook Elementary School, mourning the tragic loss of 20 children and 6 adults shot on school grounds.
Just hugs. I don't think there are any words.
It's impacted the town, it's impacted the state, the world, the U.S. It's a horrible thing.
Tonight, we're learning more about the victims and the shooter as the country tries to understand what could have led up to such a massacre. That is our top story tonight, continuing coverage of the tragic school shooting in Newtown, Connecticut. Police say a lone gunman is responsible for the deaths of almost 30 people, so many of them children. We're learning more tonight about those victims, including their names. We're also learning more about the attack itself. Tori Dunn joins us now live at 6 o'clock from Newtown. Tori?
Family member Tori Dunn reporting.
All right, Tori, thank you. And the chaos has so many parents here locally worried. And law enforcement tonight, they want to reassure them that their children are safe, and they're taking action too, with some changes in schools in Hillsborough County next week. Bay News 9's Cheryl Glassford is on scene at the school board headquarters in Tampa with more on the plan.
We're on scene in Tampa. Cheryl Glassford, Bay News 9.
Now, the Polk County School District says it's in the process of redesigning schools so there is only one entrance through the administration's office. Fences will be installed at some of the other schools, funneling everyone to the entrance. Teachers are already encouraged to keep the doors locked at all times except during class change. Now, before the gunman went to Sandy Hook Elementary yesterday, police say he killed his mother, then took several of her guns. Neighbors who knew Nancy Lanza and her family are stunned by what has happened.
She was like a normal anybody else in this neighborhood. You know, decorate the house, and the house was always, you know, pristine, and I mean, she was just like any other housewife.
Detectives say they've collected some very good evidence at both Nancy Lanza's house and the school. Until Friday, only one homicide in the past 10 years had been reported in the upscale communities of expansive homes surrounded by woods. President Obama talked about the massacre again today. This is a photo of the commander-in-chief with Vice President Joe Biden in the Oval Office yesterday. The president called for change in the wake of these mass shootings.
As a nation, we have endured regardless of politics.
The Republican Party gave up their weekly address to give the president extra time. Tonight, there's talk about the politics of gun control. Investigators say the 20-year-old suspect used his mom's weapons for the deadly attack. Some want to tighten the reins on access to guns. Bay News 9's Ashley Jeffrey has the story.
The tearful images of Pembroke County. Ashley Jeffrey, Bay News 9.
The national petition only needed 25,000 signatures to go to the president's administration. And with more than 86,000 signatures already, the issue is sure to be a hot topic in the months to come. It's not just Americans heartbroken for Newtown, Connecticut. Leaders around the world are offering their condolences to the families dealing with their grief. Even the Pope offered his sympathies. Monsignor Robert Weiss read a letter from Pope Benedict XVI at a vigil last night.
I convey my heartfelt grief and the assurance of my personal prayers to the victims and their families, to all those of the community of Newtown, and especially the parish of St. Rose of Lima. In the aftermath of this senseless tragedy, I ask God our Father to console all those who mourn.
There are more services planned in Connecticut this weekend to pray for the victims. Our coverage of the tragedy at Sandy Hook continues. We'll bring you all the news conferences and updates from there live. Meanwhile, you can find all of Friday's news conferences, including the president's emotional speech from yesterday. It's on demand. It's on Channel 342. Look for the news and the top stories category. New details this weekend of an eerily similar plot in Oklahoma. Detectives arrested an 18-year-old high school student. They say Sammy Chavez tried to recruit classmates to shoot students, then bomb the Bartlesville High School auditorium. According to the report, the attack would have happened on the same day as the shootings in Sandy Hook Elementary. The school district says students were never in danger. A developing story tonight in Hillsborough County, where deputies say a hammer was used to kill. Detectives tell us a man attacked his neighbor with the tool this afternoon. It happened at a mobile home park on Black Dairy Road in Thenodisassa. The victim was rushed to the hospital where he died. We're told the suspect barricaded himself inside his home, but finally surrendered. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton is recovering from a concussion this weekend. Earlier this week, Clinton skipped an overseas trip because of a stomach bug. Aides say she was dehydrated because of a virus and she fainted, causing the concussion. She won't testify at scheduled congressional hearings this week on the attack of a U.S. consulate in Benghazi, Libya. Residents in the Northeast still dealing with Hurricane Sandy. This time, the mental health trauma victims suffered. The so-called superstorm slammed into the coast in late October, and mental health experts say some people have developed fears of wind, water, even leaving their loved ones. Other residents are overwhelmed with anxiety. The government is sending crisis counselors to canvass the worst hit areas to help those who need it. Closer to home, deputies say a local guy tried to kill a deputy with his car. According to the report, Jonathan Solomon smashed his car into a Manatee County deputy's cruiser last night. It happened on 8th Street Court East in Bradenton. Solomon reportedly bailed out of his car, but authorities caught up with him. He's facing several charges, including attempted murder of a law enforcement officer. The Clearwater Civil Air Patrol Unit headquarters has been condemned, and without help, the program might be too. Cadets must come up with nearly $50,000, and as Bay News 9's Rachelle Davis reports, it's their most important mission yet.
Order. Clearwater, Rachelle Davis, Bay News 9.
The Clearwater Composite Squadron will share the new facility with the Tampa Bay Veterans Alliance. We posted information about how to help them reach their goal and save the facility at baynews9.com. South to Manatee County tonight, this Anna Maria Island Christmas tree is totally green, both in color and performance. Those twinkling lights, they're not plugged into any energy source.
Our Christmas tree tonight is totally powered by solar energy. We have 1,200 LED lights that have lit our Christmas tree with 6 solar panels, which no one has done in the county.
You'll find that green tree in the historic Green Village on Anna Maria Island. It's at the Relish Marketplace. It wasn't solar power, but color power on the streets of St. Petersburg. Check out the finish line at the Color Run. The Urban 5K wound through the streets near the Vinoy today. Now, don't adjust your TV. Those runners are drenched in paint. The run exploded since its debut last year, and it's held nationwide. Rich Van Dillen sent us this photo of the race participants start. They're dressed in white, and along the track, they meet bursts of colored powder. Hey, pooches weren't left out either. This little guy, I spotted him at the dog park today. He's practically tie-dyed.
Now, more about a cold front coming through by Tuesday, coming up in just a bit.
The latest now on tonight's top story, the shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary. We learned the names of those killed inside the school yesterday. All 6 adults at the school were women. Of the 20 children who were shot to death, 8 were boys and 12 were girls. All of the children were ages 6 or 7. Families today have been returning to the school, leaving flowers and balloons. One of the victims, a 27-year-old teacher who family members say saved her students' lives. They say Vicky Soto had her students huddled behind her in a closet, shielding them from gunfire. Investigators are trying to learn more about 20-year-old suspect gunman Adam Lanza, who killed himself after the massacre. His actions are once again sparking the national debate on gun laws. Some gun advocates say owners need to do what they can to ensure their weapons don't end up in the wrong hands. Hillsborough County deputies want to reassure parents that their children are safe. Nearly 50 school resource officers, normally assigned to only middle and high schools in unincorporated areas of the county, will be divvied up to include elementary schools starting Monday. Pasco County schools also have a crisis preparedness plan in place. In fact, there's a copy of it in every classroom across the county. The assistant superintendent helped develop it. Bay News 9's Holly Gregory tells us about the procedure and what children and parents can expect come Monday morning.
Columbine was in the newsroom. Holly Gregory, Bay News 9.
That school shooting is prompting Tinseltown to postpone a big movie premiere. Tom Cruise's next blockbuster, Jack Reacher, will be delayed. Paramount Pictures released a statement saying it's delaying the movie out of honor and respect for the families. Cruise plays an ex-Army cop who investigates a sniper shooting in a Pittsburgh park. The movie was set to premiere in Pittsburgh this weekend. Our coverage of the tragedy at Sandy Hook continues. Meanwhile, you can find all of Friday's news conferences, including the president's emotional speech from yesterday, is on demand. It's on Channel 342. Look for the news and top stories category. In other news tonight, an inspiring milestone for a local woman. A milestone some told her would never happen. But domestic violence survivor Melissa Dome showed everyone her courage as she walked across the stage. A college graduate today. Bay News 9's Chris Hopper has been following her recovery and was there as she told her story to the entire graduating class.
Chris Hopper, Bay News 9.
Dome is now looking forward to nursing school. She wants to become a nurse practitioner. As for her ex-boyfriend, well, he's behind bars, awaiting trial on attempted murder charge. Thousands of wreaths were laid at the Florida National Cemetery in Bushnell today. It's all part of the Wreaths Across America event, where veterans and active duty servicemen, as well as volunteers, place holiday wreaths at hundreds of cemeteries and veteran monuments.
This is a part of America that I love, and I like to see people do this every year. It gives me really goosebumps, to be honest with you.
The Patriot Guard riders escort the trucks that carry the wreaths. 6,900 total wreaths were laid at the Florida National Cemetery. Tax changes are letting some apartment building owners save on their bottom line. It's not all good news, though. Local governments will end up footing the bill. Bay News 9's Al Rochelle gets the details from our partners at the Tampa Bay Times.
Jordan, folks, make sure you read about it in the Tampa Bay Times. Susan, good talking to you.
Okay, thanks, Al.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
There's a special Santa greeting kids in Clearwater this holiday. Old St. Nick's schedule is as packed as his sleigh, but this Santa's different than the rest of the bunch. Years ago, doctors had to amputate his right leg.
Got caught up in an infection that I didn't take care of it fast enough. You can't take care of it fast enough because I'm diabetic on top of it. And the problem I had is not necessarily just a diabetic thing. It's a disease called Charcot's foot, and you lose muscle, then you lose nerves.
Disabled but eager to work, this Santa found his suit 3 years ago. He visits homes across Pinellas County. Learn more about him at baynews9.com. Candy canes for kids. It's an effort this holiday season to make sure families have presents under the tree and food on their dinner table. That story up next.
Closed captioning on Bay News 9 is brought to you by Tradewind's new Guy Harvey Outpost. It's a whole new way to vacation on America's #1 beach. Check out our grand opening specials at GoGetOutThere.com. Know about the latest home renovation and design trends? Home Improvement House brings you that and more at baynews9.com and Marketplace On Demand Channel 341. Home Improvement House, because your home is your biggest investment.
In other news tonight, a tough economy has many families wondering how they're going to provide gifts for their children on Christmas. This weekend, a local charity stepped up and gave several families in need their Christmas wish. Bay News 9's Sandra Weathers has the story.
Sandra Weathers, News 13.
Each family was also provided food and gift cards to make sure they have a good meal on Christmas Day.
About the latest home renovation and design trends? Home Improvement House brings you that and more at baynews9.com and Marketplace On Demand Channel 341. Home Improvement House, because your home is your biggest investment.
Welcome back. If you're looking to give your holiday decorations a little extra oomph, well, look no further than Mrs. Fix-It. Our home improvement expert uses some inexpensive items to give the season a little more glamour.
Dressing up is part, and it's just that simple.
You can see all of those tips for glitzing up the holidays. Just visit our website, baynews9.com, click on the community tab. You'll also find tips for holiday entertaining. This Pinellas County home wishing everyone a Merry Christmas. The lights are timed to music here on 55th Street North in Pinellas Park. One of our viewers sent us this video. Check out the driveway. There's even a spinning snowman. For even more holiday homes, check our website, baynews9.com. And if you're in the mood for a fire but don't have a fireplace, well, don't worry. We've got you covered. The Yule log is back. Go on to Tampa Bay On Demand, Channel 340, to help set the holiday mood.
A non-attorney spokesperson.